In this video, we will be looking at some of the best Patrik Pietschmann arrangements that every beginner should learn. These arrangements in particular are not too difficult, but they do incorporate a lot of specific techniques which Patrik Pietschmann often uses in a lot of his harder covers. So working on these pieces at a sort of entry level will better help you learn some of the harder ones and hopefully speed up the learning process. Before I begin, as a disclaimer, Patrik's arrangements are by no means easy and they will require some practice before learning them, especially the fundamentals. But as I said, this is a sort of entry level for learning some of the harder ones, and they will be very beneficial to start learning them as soon as possible. Right, without further ado, let's get on to the first piece that I want to talk about. It is Time from Inception. This piece involves a fair amount of hand crossing, which is often used in other arrangements like Interstellar. There are also a lot of repetitive right-hand ostinatos. If you've seen any of Patrik's covers, you'll know they are always used. I don't think I've seen a cover yet that doesn't feature a right-hand ostinato of some sort. This sort of technique is often incorporated with left-hand jumps as well. I want to talk about is Interstellar. This begins with a repeated E note, which has to stay consistent against changing harmonies, and that can be quite difficult. Once again, it's a hand balancing type of skill, because that E note has to stay consistent while the other fingers are doing other things, and it can get quite tricky sometimes. But it is used in a lot of other pieces. I think in June 2, I know the love theme from that called A Quiet Between the Storms. I think this piece is slightly harder than Time, but learning simpler versions of his embedded melodies is a great place to start learning pieces like Blackheart with their integrated melodies at around 1 minute 40, I believe. This is slightly harder than Time, but learning simpler versions of his integrated melodies at around 1 minute 10 in this piece is a great thing to learn, especially to work on harder covers in the future. There's Trill-like action at 2 minutes 17. Once again, this will just build finger strength, coordination, dexterity, everything you need for, faster covers, in ones like Harry Potter where everything's going crazy. And one more thing to mention, at around 3 minutes 15, you have a few very scalic passages. I'm sure your teachers have told you to work on your scales. It comes up all the time, and if you have that skill under your belt, you'll be way better suited for learning these passages, as they do come up all the time, and it's a great thing to know. I know in covers like On the Other Side of the World and Star Sky, there are a lot of scales. Very prominent scalic passages. So yeah, once again, learn your scales. Interstellar starts getting very, very difficult at around 3 minutes 53, and I think that's where there's a lot of contrary motion and basically everything that we just talked about combined in just one section. As always, I recommend learning those type of sections hand separately, slowly, and then eventually start bringing them together. And when you get smooth enough, start doing different rhythms and just messing about with it until it does become clean and fluid, as you want it to be. The next piece I want to talk about is Naruto, Sadness and Sorrow. Once again, it is from the easy tier in my ranking Patrik Pietschmann covers from easiest to hardest tier list. I will be linking that in the description if you have not watched that already. The reason why I've chosen this piece is the left hand is very involved and it isn't too difficult, but it does help learn A lot of left hand dexterity, which I think is often neglected when you first start learning piano. Semiquaver left-hand arpeggiated figurations, which are often always used in his covers. I don't think I've seen a cover that does not have this technique in it. I think the figurations in this arrangement are the most manageable out of all of his covers. This is a great entry point to start learning these types of techniques, so you can go on to pieces in the future like Journey of Life. Which are extremely difficult, but they are based on the same techniques. This piece is great for learning left-hand dexterity, but also making the melody notes sing out. Once again, hand balancing thing, bit of coordination, bit of dexterity. Manageable, not too difficult, won't take too long to learn these sections. So yeah, great thing to learn. Get on it. These three arrangements, in my opinion, are some of the best ones for beginners to learn, as they do encompass a lot of different techniques that Patrik uses in other harder covers. So if you found this video useful, make sure to drop a like, consider subscribing, and yeah, thanks for watching.